Hi there, film fans! Comet Over Hollywood here for another week of classic film fun. This week, we have a Halloween theme. This year, my Halloween costume was Louise Brooks, specifically from the 1927 film Now We're in the Air, co-starring her with Wallace Beery. The film is actually lost, so I don't think anybody has seen it since 1927, but the plot has to do with aviation and it's a comedy of sorts. You might be familiar with the picture. She's wearing a black leotard and a tutu. Though the movie is lost, that picture is quite famous. So I modeled this year's Halloween costume after that. I bought a short black wig actually a year ago because it was on sale, and then bought a leotard, did a little glued some sequins in the shape of a G on it, and then used an old dance recital tutu that my sisters and I wore back in the day of our dancing days. So it actually ended up being a pretty cheap costume. Each year I do try to do something classic film related for Halloween. One year I was Carmen Miranda, I was Citrus from Bandwagon in the red outfit that she dances with Fred Astaire in at the very end of the film. And one year I was Lady Gaga, which isn't terribly classic film related, but in 2009 that was the thing probably to dress up as. So, gotta start brainstorming for next year. What did you dress up this year as? Was it film related? Quanta lagusta, 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 lagusta. Now, since today is Halloween, I would like to discuss my favorite horror film. Now, I'm probably the biggest fraidy cat that you will ever meet. I don't like scary movies. Things like Friday the 13th, The Ring, Nightmare on Elm Street. Even though I know it's not real, they still keep me up awake at night because I'm thinking about it and I'm too afraid. So, my favorite horror movie, which recently was released by Criterion, is The Uninvited from 1944, starring Ray Milland and Ruth Hussey. The story revolves around brother and sister Ray Milland and Ruth Hussey in England. And they come across this house on the seashore, and they fall in love with the home and go to the owner of the home, who's Donald Crisp, and he sells it to them for a steal. They're not really sure why until they do find out that the house is haunted. They hear sobbing in the middle of the night, and their dog will not go up the stairs. Rooms get very cold and it affects their mood. And then there's this mysterious young girl named Stella who was born in the home, and the dangers of that home are actually reaching out for her. What I particularly like about this movie, there are some parts that can be a little bit scary, but it's mainly suspenseful. It's shot beautifully. The suspense is also mixed with some humor. Ray Milland has some very funny lines. I was very pleased when Criterion released it this year, or within the past month, because I've always felt like The Uninvited was a very forgotten and underrated film. That's all we have for this week. Just wanted to keep it kind of Halloween themed. Next week, because some of you know I am actually a newspaper reporter at the Shelby Star in Shelby, North Carolina, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions that you see in films about newspapers and reporters and some of the methods they go about gathering information. I also didn't have time this week to be able to thoroughly read the new Vivian Lee book, so that will be in next week's video. Just didn't want y'all to think I'd forgotten that. That will be coming up. I just didn't finish reading it in time for this week's video. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. Stay safe. Also, send me your costumes. Email address is below, cometoverhollywood@gmail.com. Hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Have a good day. Bye.
I like it.
That is a song.